guys, it's Mrs. Blue. Let's make some art. Welcome back if you've already been to my channel, and if it's your first time, welcome. All right, so today we're going to do a bit of a challenging project, so I hope you're up for a challenge. Now, don't forget, you can pause the video at any time to catch up with me, so don't stress out. And also, I am going to make a mistake on this project. So when I created this one, I had to erase and fix many things, so don't feel stressed if you make a mistake as well. That's why we use pencils. All right, so for this project today, to create this super awesome line and color sort of three-dimensional project, you need a piece of paper, a pencil, that's important, not a pen. You definitely want a pencil for this one with an eraser. A Sharpie marker or any other black marker or a black crayon. A black crayon will work too. And something to color your art. I used markers to color mine. You can use crayons, watercolor paints, colored pencils, really anything you have at home. It's your choice. Okay, so pause the video, go get those supplies, and meet me back here. All right, let's start our project. So we don't need our marker yet. All we need is our paper facing vertical. Now, as I said, on this example, I made a liquid Elmer's glue bottle up here in the corner. You can make anything you want. Really, the possibilities are endless. You could draw like a little palm tree on an island. You could draw Pikachu. You could draw anything you want. So feel free to be creative with what you draw up here. I drew a liquid glue bottle, which I'll kind of leave right here on the screen in case you want to draw that as well. For this example, let's keep it simple since the rest of the project is very tricky. And I'm going to draw a sun. So I'm going to draw a sun shape right here, kind of in the corner, like so, with my pencil. Now, if you want to use a ruler for this next step, you can. I often find when I use a ruler, I get even more stressed about what I'm doing and the lines end up more crooked. So I'm just going to what I call eyeball it. I'm going to look with my eyes and I'm going to draw a square-ish shape. Trust me when I say if it's not a perfect square, it's not going to matter. So all of you perfectionists out there, don't worry, it won't matter. I'm going to tilt my paper a little bit like this right now. So I'm going to start by drawing a line dripping from the sun kind of, or shining. This one is shining from the sun. And I'm going to draw a line like this, almost all the way over to the edge. We really want to utilize our paper and make this as big as possible. Now I'm going to draw a line down like this and then down over here, trying to keep it semi-square shaped. And again, I'm not using a ruler, so it's not going to be perfect. You can tell that slants in a little bit. Won't matter. It won't matter. And then I'm going to close it like this. So there's my kind of square-ish shape. Again, don't stress out if it's not perfect, but if you feel the need to erase and fix things, pause the video and do what you need to do to create a square-ish shape right here. Okay, next, we are going to create these curvy lines 1 to 2 inches apart on our paper. So we're going to leave just a little bit of space as we're creating them. The closer you make them together, the harder your project is going to be. So trust me when I say you're probably going to leave them 1 inch or 2 apart. So I'm going to start up here in the corner and I'm going to make a curve like this. Now I'm going to skip a little bit of space, 1.5 inches, 1 inch, and I'm going to draw one like this. And I'm going to keep going throughout the length of my paper until I have filled my paper up all the way to the corner, like so. Here we go. Now right here, it looks like I need to kind of go down to this space right here. And I'm going to keep that curve going right here. And I suppose I can fit one more little space right down here. So now I have filled my entire paper with these curve shapes. Okay, next, I'm wondering, no, I'm going to wait to outline with marker. I was thinking if I wanted to trace with marker yet or wait. I'm going to wait till we have everything done with pencil. Okay, now comes the tricky part. We're going to make all of these zigzag lines like this, which I'm going to show you step by step how to create. This space up here is going to get very packed full with lines. Don't stress out, it's okay, we're going to make it great. So the first line that I'm going to draw is going to match this edge right here just to save a little bit of space. So my first zigzag line is going to go like this, and I'm going to stop when I get to this curve. Then I'm going to zag, zig, zag, zig, zag, zig, and I'm going to go down off of the paper or off of the square, because that's what makes this so fun. So my first zigzag, I just really stayed on the edge to maximize the amount of lines that we can draw on this space. Let me zoom in a tad bit so you can see even closer. Okay, now I'm going to start way up here in the corner, and I'm going to draw the second side to this. So I'm going to go down, down, and I'm stopping when I touch the curve. Up, down, up, down. And then just for fun, let's go zigzag, zig to connect it, to kind of leave like a zigzag space at the bottom. So this space is our first space we're going to color in with bright, fancy colors later. Now, let's keep going. So we're going to add another one, down, stopping each time I touch the curve. That one I'll stop right there, and I'll go like that. Same thing right here, down, over. Look at that. Nice and thick. It's going to look so great. And then, I don't know, like this. And I'm going to connect it with zigzags. Oh, that's so fun. Look, it's already starting to look so three-dimensional, right? Okay, next, here. My pencil is not ultra sharp. Same process. All the way till I get to there. And right here, I'm going to try to squeeze in one more after this. My nose is running today, I apologize. And down. Zigzag, zigzag, zig. Okay. Now, there's not really a lot of space here. I'm going to start here because, why not? Down. Like that. And it looks like this will be our last one. I don't want to crowd this too much. Let's really use up this space here. Oh yeah, I like that. Nice and thick, so we really fill up our space. There, look at that. I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we want to trace the whole thing with marker. And the only tricky part you need to remember when we're tracing with marker is I do not want to trace this line right here. I'm going to leave this line opened. So I'll demonstrate. So first I'm going to trace my sun. And this is kind of the annoying part, the tracing, because it's boring, I will admit. But it's going to make our art look so fancy when we're done. Now I'm going to trace this whole side of the square. But here's the tricky part. Watch. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to trace here. Then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to skip this little flagged area like this. Okay? And I'm going to trace this side. And then same thing here. I'm going to skip this flagged area here. I mean, nothing will happen if you trace it. It's still going to look amazing. But I kind of really want to make this look like it's dripping down in here. Okay, now I'm going to trace each of these spaces. I don't really think we need to trace the U shapes. We're kind of going to trace those when we're coloring with the marker anyway. So now I'm going to go ahead and trace everything we just drew, all these zigzags, and then leave your marker out because step 1 is to color with black. There we go. Next one. The benefit of using a Sharpie marker is if you're about to use watercolor paints, if you paint on top of a black Crayola marker, even if it's 1 month after you trace, the black marker will bleed into your artwork or it'll smear. If you use a Sharpie, it won't do that. My goodness. It's so chilly outside today. My nose is running. Here we go. I forgot to trace this. And right here. There. Okay, very nice. Now everything is traced and now we're ready to start the black and white portion. So this space up here, we're gonna leave white. We're gonna start in this second space right here. And this is where it gets super confusing. We're only coloring with black and white these in between spaces because these flagged spaces, which helps if you start down here with your finger and look at where you extended it, these flagged spaces are going to be super colorful. See how the flagged spaces are super colorful? But these spaces in between look like a zebra, just black and white. So that's what we're doing right now. So I'm gonna start on the very edge because I know that this is background. This part is not part of this flag. So I'm gonna leave this white up here and I'm gonna color this space right here black, like so. White, black, white, black, like so, white. That's it. Super simple. Now, skip this space, right? This is going to be colorful. Same thing here. Black. So we always start in the second curved space with black. I know, right? I told you it was confusing. I wasn't kidding. White. Now this one is black. And I like to kind of color in lines like this with my marker. I feel like it just looks a little bit neater than if you kind of scribble scrabble back and forth. So I like to kind of tilt my marker to the side and color like this. Okay, now white. I'm gonna fix this. This is a little, there we go. I could see a little marker sticking out. And black, white, black. Here we go. This takes a little bit of time, I know. White, black. Okay, now skip this one, right? I'm gonna look down here where the flag is, skip this one, and now this space. And I'm not doing anything to this top space. White, black. White, black. White, black. I'm going to turn my paper sideways for this one since the long space is to the side. I think it'll be faster. Fortunately, I'm using a relatively new Sharpie, so it's pretty, there's a lot of ink left in it. It's pretty bright. Okay. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this corner right here. Really, don't forget all those tiny spaces. Okay, this one's going to be colorful. This one is black, white. I just got confused for a minute. Make sure I don't color the wrong thing. Black. There we go. White. I'm going to turn it sideways. I need an assistant who can deliver me a Kleenex during my video. Who would like to apply to be my Mrs. Blue's assistant? Okay. Shazam. And one more. Right here. Black. White. Only a couple to color here, so fast. Okay, look at that, you guys. How cool. I even like it at this step. It's so fancy. Okay, now, super simple. You can see exactly what needs to be colored with markers. So, here's the thing. Get some markers and get 2 different colors for each flag. So this one needs 2 colors. This one needs 2 colors, 2 and 2. So essentially you need like 8 markers. I recommend getting a light and a dark shade. For example, a light and a dark green, a light and a dark blue, and so on to color yours. So you can see on my completed example right here. Let me make sure you can see the whole thing on the screen. So this one I used dark green and light green, and I just alternated all the way down to the bottom. This one I used dark yellow, light yellow, that's hard to say, fluorescent orange, regular orange, and this one you can hardly even tell, but I used a dark red and a light red. So pause the video if you need to and get whatever colors you need, and then you can finish coloring yours and shazam, you're done. You created this super cool 3-dimensional art. So I hope you enjoyed creating this project with me today. Come back again and let's make some more art. Great job today, guys. Keep up the good work. Bye.